It is the Jeff Dubay Show, and I'm losing my voice. I'm Peter Brady. Oh, my God, it's time to change. That's the worst Brady Brunch episode ever, and they all suck, and that is the worst of the worst. Any episode that involves the Brady kids dancing and singing in jumpsuits is, I mean, you guys, you're both too young to even know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I am.
I'm not, but maybe I should pretend to be.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and lie to us.
I'm only
Lie
26. I don't know that show.
Lie to me. It is the Jeff Dubay Show. It's a Monday after the regional finals in the NCAA basketball tournament. We're heading to a Final Four this weekend that includes Kentucky against Wisconsin and Michigan State against Duke. You've got 3 1 seeds and a 7. It's like, remember Sesame Street? Which of these things are not like the other? Which one just doesn't belong? Tommy Izzo, a team that lost at home. And by the way, Henry Lake, great basketball mind, basketball guru, now located in Kansas City, also joins us. What's up, Freak Nasty?
I'm doing pretty good. How's it going?
Good. And I just can't get over the fact that a team that got beat by the Gophers on their home court is in the Final Four.
Hey, anything's possible, right? I mean, anything is possible. But, you know, it's funny because you look at Michigan State and they ended up with the 7th seed and they struggled throughout the year. But the one thing that we always say, and it's not just this year, we've said this for the last decade, Tom Izzo coach teams get better come tournament time. So it's almost like they baited everybody into thinking that they were going to be just kind of a ho-hum team, and then all of a sudden, right at the end of the season, they turned it on.
Hey, Nadine, I wanted to ask you about this, too, because with Michigan State playing Louisville, I wonder if our guy was in a bad spot. I mean, he's got the Big Ten loyalties. He's got family loyalties. I mean, coaches rely on coaches for little scouting reports and stuff. I wonder if he's in a bad spot there.
I don't think he's in a bad spot. I mean, I think obviously your loyalty is with your dad. He's helped him with everything.
The Patinos and the Izzos are close.
They definitely are close.
They're mafia. No, they're not. They're not. But, I mean, they're close.
Maybe Patino. I don't know about Izzo.
Well, I mean, Italians get along.
Yeah.
Well, they do. They do. Anybody who's a name ends in an O, they get along.
They're good people. That's why.
But I'm sure Rich was there. I'm sure he was at the game.
I'm sure he was, and he should
I kind of wonder which of the two Nadine likes in terms of the way they look. Because, you know, Nadine has this thing for college basketball coaches. So I'm wondering which one she likes over the other.
Do you really have a thing for coaches?
I have a big thing for college basketball coaches.
Really?
I have, like, my super hot coach list, yeah.
Oh, I want to hear this.
Well, neither one of them, unfortunately, made the list. The Patinos have not. But I actually hear that Rick is really, really charming in person.
Well, he nailed that chick in a bar a few years back. Well, you know what I'm talking about, Henry. It was a big deal.
So have you probably.
Yeah, I
no.
know about it. I still remember that.
I tell you, this weird idea you have that I ever get laid, you've got to get rid of that notion. It is not true.
Especially not now that you're missing a tooth, right?
Do you want to see the calluses in my palm? Is that what it's going to take?
No one needs to see any of this.
Continue. But, so I want to hear the hot coach list.
Oh, the hot coach list? Henry, do you know who's on my list?
Well, I know that you're a big fan of Bill Self.
Yep, ding, ding, ding.
Another one that you're a big fan of is Jay Wright, Villanova.
Yep, correct.
Really?
Oh,
neither of these guys are hot.
Beyond those two, I can't recall the third one that I know that you.
I thought you'd be down with Shaka. You down with Shaka?
I love Shaka, but he is not on my hot coach list. I've also got Tony Bennett, which I know you're thinking, oh, I missed that
one. The old one or the young one?
Of course.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. Yep.
Yep. Josh Pastner, who has not done as well lately, and then honestly, who's inching in is.
How about Jim Dutcher?
No. Who's inching in is Fred Hoiberg.
Don't say inching. That's a horrible thing to say. Jesus, that's terrible. If I wouldn't call Fred Hoiberg and I said, you're inching in on Nadine's hot list, he'd be insulted.
I think he'd be flattered.
Not by the term inching. Jesus. So that's it? It's a 3-person list? 4-person
It's 5.
list? Oh, was it that many?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, one thing I've never been able to do as is know if a man's attractive. I mean, unless it's just something like George Clooney, you just can't miss. But like, I mean, like when you talk to a woman about a guy, you always get is he good looking? I'm like, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, but I'm serious. As you're doing that list, I'm going through basketball coaches in my head, thinking. Who's that? And you said I look like Bo Ryan. That is really insulting. I mean, that's Bo Ryan's one of the ugliest men in the world.
The one thing but see, this is the thing, though, Dubers. You know I'm into fashion. I'm a fashion guy. I don't know if you like to do the whole, going to fashion shows and stuff. I'm about that life, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So when you're about fashion and you're about like trendy and all that, like when you're in the midst of individuals like Nadine just said, or like certain guys that are, celebs or have that swag or have that appeal or popularity and you are in their midst, there are certain guys, even though, I'm all about the gals. There's certain guys you look at and you say, you know what, I get it. I see why the gals are all about this dude. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain vibe that certain guys give off where it's like, okay, I see why chicks dig him.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, if somebody asked me if George Clooney's attractive or Brad Pitt, I mean, of course. I mean, I'm not blind.
See, Lake's a very confident man, though. He can recognize it.
But see, there's guys I just don't get. I mean, the first time that a woman told me Joe Mauer was attractive, I almost fell over because I thought he looked like he's challenged. I mean, I think he looks like he should be on the short bus. And I'm not kidding. I mean, I think he looks like there's something wrong with him. And this guy's a heartthrob. I was like, are you kidding me? I clearly don't get it. I clearly don't get it.
Dude.
You think Joe Mauer's good looking? You think Joe Mauer's attractive, Henry Lake?
I did an appearance at the Mall of America. I can't remember what year this was, but it was for Travel and Leisure magazine and Perry Ellis. And it was me and Joe Mauer, and that was my first time actually meeting him. And I had that exact same moment. I said, I get it. I see why the gals think. I mean, the line was out of the. I mean, it was unbelievable how long the line was. Mm-hmm. But at that moment, I said, okay, I see how the girls.
And he's avoided you ever since.
Before the head and shoulders and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's avoided you ever since. That's just one I don't get. But I just threw that out there as an example of me not getting it. So I think we've covered it. Let's talk about the games this weekend because. It was cool watching Duke and watching Tyus do his thing. I mean, I didn't see a lot of Duke games this year. The Gophers' mediocrity kind of got me lukewarm on college hoops this year, so I didn't watch a lot of games. But so I've got limited exposure to Tyus, but he was the real deal. I mean, and Nadine, people talk about Kentucky's freshmen. What about Duke's freshmen? They might be better.
Exactly, and that's the thing too. I mean, a player like Tyus, Lake knows better than anybody. I mean, he makes everybody better on the court. He is such a good kid. Like, you just have to root for him. I mean, I know it's hard, but it's like you kind of got to root for the kid.
Freak?
Oh, absolutely. And the thing about Duke, to me, is because we all know that Tyus Jones is an unbelievable leader, and he's a great point guard. He's got great vision. He's developed the jump shot on the perimeter. That was something that people questioned about a year and a half ago, whether he was going to be able to knock down shots on the perimeter. The thing about Duke, though, is that as much as they've been great offensively the entire year with Okafor and with Winslow really kind of emerging here in the second portion of the season, as well as with Tyus doing his thing, and also Quinn Cook, where they really show to me to be really, really good as a team here in the tournament and even in the ACC tournament is the fact that defensively they're a much better team than what they were in the first half of the year. And I know Nadine watches a ton of college basketball like I do, but this team defensively has really, really, really stepped it up here in the last one.
Yeah, they've definitely struggled, and you only saw that kind of lapse, maybe like 4 minutes into the second half of the last game. But other than that, they've defensively gotten so much better. But that's a Coach K coach team, too.
Exactly. I was going to say, nobody coaches defense like Coach K. I mean, it's no coincidence that he's a Bobby Knight disciple. I mean, it's just that's his roots. That's what he does. I mean, and nobody coached defense like Bobby Knight. Henry?
Yeah, but they've been kind of like pigeonholed.
Jesus Christ, Henry, pay attention.
Like being a 1-3 pony, right? Because everybody loves Jahlil Okafor and what he does offensively. Because when you look at his skill level, it's just like you just don't see big kids like that come to college basketball and be able to do all the things that he can do offensively. But he really, really has taken a step forward defensively, and that's props to Coach K for sure.
Hey, just back to Tyus for a second. How hard is it to just wrap your mind around the fact that a year ago the kid's playing against Eastview or Hopkins, and then in his first month as a collegiate, he's at Madison playing against the number 2 team in the country. Now, didn't he score like 12 in a row in the second half to put his team over the top in that game? I mean, that takes some balls.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever lacked confidence, though. And the thing about Tyus is he really makes everybody else better on his team. That's what's so remarkable about him. I mean, if you watch like Rashad Vaughn last year, he definitely is the showmaker. He's the one that wants to get all the credit, all the attention. Tyus is like dishing off balls to everybody. I mean, he is definitely a team player. He's a smart player.
Well, and Henry, you talk about Nadine's point about Tyus making people better and what a perfect fit he was for Okafor. When it comes to recruiting now, I mean, these kids, I mean, he and Okafor go back quite a ways, don't they, from AAU stuff and, I mean, playing in tournaments?
Yeah.
I mean, once they had one, they had them both, right? From a recruiting standpoint.
It was going to be a package deal. I mean, it was funny because, like, before they had committed, one of the teams that was in the mix towards the end there was after Kentucky was cut out and Duke was always the favorite. The other school that a lot of people were talking about was Kansas. And it was like, you just really felt like, depending on where one of them was going to go, if you could get a lead or get a read on what they were going to do, you knew that the other one was going to follow. So, but hey, props to Coach K and props to Duke. And let's be honest, it doesn't hurt Duke's cause when Coach K is like coaching USA basketball and doing certain things where he gets a little bit more exposure to kids than maybe some of the other coaches out there.
Hey, just quickly on Duke, by the way, just on a sidebar. Mm-hmm. How uncomfortable is it to watch Christian Laettner in these commercials where he's on a couch with Julius Erving? He's like the only white guy in the room, and nobody wants to talk to him. He looks like he just doesn't belong. He's like the new kid in school, and I watch those thinking, God, get Christian Laettner off these commercials. He looks miserable.
I think they're absolutely hilarious because he is so pompous, and after all this Laettner stuff and the 30 for 30, it just shows that he's a good sport about it, but it shows that he's still kind of douchey.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's good.
It's really good. You haven't watched it?
Well, I mean, the thing I've heard about it that's really interesting is that he's not a silver spoon guy like everybody thought he was. Because he looks like a spoiled little snot. But by the way, Bobby Hurley looks like he's 80. I mean, have you seen Bobby Hurley lately? Jesus Christ. I mean, he almost died. I mean, that aged him a little bit.
Jeez.
Well, he did.
Hey, dude,
Imagine that.
With those commercials, dudes, the one thing that I like is, like I don't like Christian Laettner. Never was really that big of a fan of his, and it was so bad that the Wolves got screwed because in that draft it ended up going Shaq at the top, then Mourning, and then into Laettner. But I do love the commercial where he's resting on his laurels.
Yes.
And I don't know, Nadine's probably seen that commercial where he's just sitting there and he's just laying there. And he's like, yeah, these nuts are from, when we went to this Final Four and this Final Four and this championship and this is from my backyard. I love that commercial. That's like my favorite one out of all of them.
I'll tell you what, you could make the argument, greatest college player of all time. You could.
You could.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's kind of the Tim Tebow, non-religious wise, of college basketball. I mean, in terms of just awards and success.
That's a good question. Who's more annoying, Tim Tebow or Christian Laettner?
See, Tebow doesn't annoy me because, I mean, I'm not a religious man. I'm not a man of faith. But he's sincere. Like, people get all upset when he says, things about his lifestyle. But you know what? When you fly to Africa and build a hospital, you're not full of shit. So, I mean, if you're doing what you're saying, I got no problem with it. Yeah. And he does. I mean, he's legit. I mean, he was always overrated as a player, but that's not his fault. I mean, but here's where I don't like him. The man was a starting quarterback at Florida for 4 years and did not get laid. That is ridiculous.
Allegedly.
Well, I believe him. I mean, and I've heard Urban Meyer go to bat for him on that topic. Now, if your coach is talking about your sex life, it's legit. I got to believe. I mean, why would a coach go there? Well, seriously. But anyway, yes, Freak.
I'm gonna be honest, Jeff. I mean, to me, when you have the ultimate man card, when you are a Heisman Trophy winner and you're the big man on campus, if you did not partake in some of the beautiful women that are on that campus, and I'm a gentleman. I am a gentleman.
Oh yeah, I remember those magazines you used to bring to work.
But to me, for him to not have had sex on that college campus, that is a sin in itself.
Well, it is. I'm telling you, it's the biggest waste.
He's going to hell.
It's the biggest waste of opportunity. I mean, other than me getting fired at the fan. But I digress. I had someone. Oh yeah, but they may have lockered, within 5 feet of each other and played on the same team for 3-4 years. But how different do you think the college experiences were between Tim Tebow and Aaron Hernandez? I mean, really. Maybe separated by 10 feet physically, but miles and miles philosophically. I mean, you can't have two guys any more different. Why will you not talk to me, Henry Lake? Are you there?
No. I wasn't sure.
Every time I finish a sentence, I go, oh, Jesus.
Jeez, now he's throwing the
when I finish a sentence, should I go, over. That's a hell of a tournament. Great Final Four, Henry. Over.
I think both of us are trying to be polite and not talk over the other. I know you don't have that issue.
No. I live to do that. Dead air is worse than anything. But anyway, you look at the Final Four matchups. Let's go back to the Selection Sunday for a second, because this is something that I didn't get at the time, and my confusion has really come to the surface now. But they get the selection show. You flip over to ESPN. They got their great basketball minds dissecting it and making picks. The Jay Billises and Jason Williams of the world, and they put up a graphic. They take all their great basketball minds and give the Final Four picks. And I not most of them, everyone without exception, every single one of them had Arizona. And I'm like, how can not one person in that room think a number one seed is coming out of that region? I mean, it's not unreasonable to pick Arizona over Wisconsin. It's unreasonable for everybody to do it. It made no sense at the time. Wisconsin, I had Wisconsin. I didn't think it was that hard of a pick.
I mean,
and to me personally, because I know that the day after the brackets came out, me and you chatted on the podcast. And then I had not put together my entire bracket yet.
That wasn't me, Henry. My identity got stolen that day. No, I'm sorry.
What was that?
No, there's a bad joke. Just keep going.
Oh,
Continue.
So when I put my
Over.
When I put my bracket together on that Tuesday, I ended up landing on Duke going to the Final Four, Kentucky going to the Final Four, because I thought that region there was no good matchup for Kentucky in terms of somebody knocking them off, although Notre Dame put on a hell of a fight. Wisconsin was the other one that I had in the Final Four. The only one that I did not get to the Final Four was Oklahoma, but that was a region in which I told you, Jeff, that Villanova was vulnerable as a one, and Virginia I never bought into because they just offensively were challenged. So, when I looked at that bracket, I was like, Oklahoma could be a team that could get there. Michigan State was definitely a team that I figured could get there, and Louisville was another. But the one thing I knew about the East, it was so wide open. There was so much parity in that region that Villanova, Virginia, those two. I was like, you just have to flat out beat me in terms of getting to Indianapolis if you're going to bring home Villanova and Virginia. I just saw that happen. I saw that neither one of those teams was going to do anything.
I just saw that we've been doing this for 15 minutes. You're out of time, aren't you? I gotta let you go. You're a busy man this time of year.
We got about 4 or 5 minutes. We're
okay,
good.
Nadine, ask him something.
Actually, you know what I would like to ask you is your take on Kansas this year, because obviously you see more games than anybody, and I'd like to know what happened.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to Kansas, you look at their roster, and they had a nice core of players, but then late in the season, they got discombobulated, number one, with the Perry Ellis injury, knee injury. That really took them, out of sync. And then the important thing that no one talks about is Chris Alexander was recruited to come into this program and to be the guy, not to be Joel Embiid, but to be a guy that was potentially going to be the one and done and could hold down the fort in the front court. And that was not the case. I mean, Chris Alexander being ineligible for the last, 3 weeks of the season, that was huge. We're talking about a McDonald's All-American. We're talking about a top 5 kid in terms of high school basketball recruiting a year ago, not being able to play. So when you talk about, Perry missing time and not being 100% healthy, he wasn't nowhere near as healthy as what everybody thought that he was going to be going into the tournament. Then you also have, Cliff Alexander not available at all. That takes away from your depth in your front court. Because their backcourt play was really good, I thought, in the end. Devontae Graham was a freshman that started, he started to come on towards the end. Frank Mason was sensational. The majority of the year was their most consistent player. And then Kelly Oubre Jr. showed you some flashes. But overall, they needed to be deeper. Front court wasn't good enough. So I think that Kansas could probably do a lot of great things next year, but I'm not sure who's going to be back because Kelly Oubre Jr., his stock is high enough for him to be a first-round pick, and then Cliff Alexander, nobody knows what's going to happen with that situation. So, Kansas is going to be Kansas. They're going to bring in some McDonald's All-Americans. But the one thing the Bill Self's going to have to do for next year is he's going to have to get something out of Wayne Self, because Wayne Self has an absolute bump as one of the top players in the country a couple of years ago, coming in with Wiggins to Embiid, and he did not have a good sophomore campaign.
Quickly, look at the Final Four. Any predictions for us?
Well, I guess I'll start. I had predicted and made my national champion Wisconsin when the brackets came out, and I'm not going to deviate from that. I look at Kentucky. Kentucky is the team that everybody is looking at, and everybody is ready to crown them, in the words of Denny Rain. But I think that they're vulnerable because, as much as they're long, they're athletic, and they're really big and really tall, I think that Wisconsin can really pose some problems to Kentucky. And the one thing about Wisconsin, they shoot the basketball better than Kentucky. Kentucky, they got the Booker kid that can knock down some shots, but at times it's almost like some of these threes that one of the Harrison twins, either one of them, knocked down at times that bails the team out. I think that you saw the blueprint right there against Notre Dame on how you beat Kentucky. You challenge them a lot, you take plenty of threes, and you really have to just execute. And I think that Bo Ryan's Badger team is good enough to execute and knock off Kentucky. So I'm going to stick by Wisconsin in terms of them winning the national championship, and I think that it'll probably be a Wisconsin versus Duke rematch in the national championship.
And I know that these little halftime interviews and the coaches are running off are really meaningless, but Calipari's turned into a dick. I mean, he's
turned into?
Well, he's like what's his face in San Antonio. I mean, he's just a dick to anybody who interviews him. I mean, it's getting embarrassing.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately. I hope Lake's right. Actually, I actually hope we're both wrong. I hope Michigan State wins it all because obviously I love Izzo and I love that team. But
he's not on your list.
He's not on my hot list. He's on my top 5 good list.
Okay, well, whatever. I can't keep your list straight.
But yeah, I mean, I don't see anyone beating Kentucky though. I hope somebody does, but I just really don't. And I think that the fact that they had a really close game against Notre Dame, I think that they're absolutely going to pull it together and make themselves unbeatable.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that when eventually Nadine comes out with their top 5 attractive media list in terms of guys, from the Twin Cities area, I just want to be a part of that because, I'm in a lot better shape now. Everybody's seeing me, so I'm looking forward to that list.
I will think long and hard about that. I'm sure.
You give inching to Hoiberg and you give long and hard to Henry Lake. Come on.
I will tell you, I don't think Dubay's in the running for that list.
Wow.
Royce, maybe. I'm not sure.
After the shirt off pick on Twitter.
After he's shown it all like that, I mean, girls go crazy.
You're the one who said you can't unsee this.
I can't. It's like I go to bed at night and I close my eyes and I see Royce shirtless.
Okay, so Hoiberg gets inching, Henry Lake gets long and hard, and Royce gets when you're in bed at night. All right. Hey, Freak Nasty, are you...
Yeah.
Hey, Royce has boobs. I don't have boobs. I have abs.
That, you know what? That already puts you above him. I'm already going to put you in the ranking above him.
You're saying Royce doesn't have abs? He does. They're just hidden. Everyone has them. They're just some people hide them better than others. Puppy. All right. Thanks, Henry.
Thanks. Good talking to you.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
That's Henry Lake, or as I like to call him, Freak Nasty. Just a basketball guru, now down in Kansas City, formerly of The Fan, up here in the Twin Cities. I'm Jeff Dubay with Nadine Babu. I almost called you Badu. That's the dating service, isn't it?
I think that's Erica Badu.
There you go.
What am I thinking of? Well, no, what's this dating? There's a dating service. It's like I got a name like that. But it's an internet thing. You're all about internet dating. It's besides something. You guys really, you're Miss Pop Culture.
I don't know, but I'll look into it.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
I think it's called
never heard of it.
But anyway, you are Babu of Babu Social Networks and GoForWhole.com. I'm Jeff Dubay. He's Jason McGovern. Quick break. We'll be right back.
Join longtime radio personality and producer Kelly Guest and friend, CEO of Fantasy Gifts, Colleen Bertino, as they talk about all things sex, men, women. Lend them your ears and learn everything you wanted to know about sex and intimacy. Only here on the Alive and Social Network.
Reach for this one.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back online,
Just turn it on. That took a very PG direction.
along comes this hit show.
I'm constantly burping on stage.
Hey, you heard about Madonna, right?
Twin Cities hit show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck.
Had she fallen to the ground and her eyes rolled into the back of her head, what would you, Tim Mahoney, have done?
I'd have tried to make out with her.
Nice.
Get in line.
The Twin Cities hit show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck airs live daily, 9:30 to 10:30 on the Alive and Social Network.
Ever swallowed a bug or choke like Courtney on stage?
Yeah. I meant to do this.
We're back. Over. I was going to look up this dating service. I can't believe. Number one, McGovern, you're like 20, and Nadine, you're all about the internet dating thing online because I see your Facebook posts about it. You guys have never heard of it? It's like they advertise on Facebook. I get junk emails from them.
I know Tinder. I know Hinge.
There's Badoo.
There's Zusk.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up. as we talk.
What is
I can
it?
multitask.
Zusk or
Zusk. Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Zusk, is that
I don't use any of them, but I've heard of these. I was on Match.
There's Match.
Years ago.
There's
of course,
OkCupid. There's eHarmony.
Yep, I've heard of all of those. But
There's FarmersOnly.com, which I think is going to be my next site.
It's even. Yeah, I know.
There's a gluten-free one now too.
When I was on with Judd, I came up with a bit about how specific dating sites. J-Date, where black people meet.
Yep.
And I just joked about how funny it would be is if the servers, if somebody hacked into Farmers Only and where black people meet and got the servers all mixed up and hooked up a bunch of rednecks with black people. It'd be unbelievable. It'd be just like
people would find unexpected love.
I think it'd be apocalyptic.
Was it Moco? Was it that?
No, I'm going to look it up right now on my App Store on Google Play.
Badu. That is it.
But it's called Badu.
It is called Badu or
Doo.
Badu.
What's this? Who's it for? Is it for a special kind of person?
No, it is not It is not a mentally challenged dating service. If that's what you're trying to get at.
Well, if you knew about it.
Wow. I had no idea that you look at me this way. Yeah. I mean, I know I'm missing a tooth right now.
You
but
are.
But I'm not completely without
Am I allowed to take a picture of the missing tooth and tweet it out to our viewers?
No.
I think they want to see it, though.
The missing tooth will stay a mystery. I'm going to do the rest of the show like this.
By the way, this Babu app, it sounds like, you know how on Craigslist you can go on there and say, like, oh, I saw somebody at so-and-so intersection or whatever? That's what it sounds like this is. It helps you meet people you've already crossed paths with.
Oh, so that's the shtick on that.
So it's a little it's kind of creeper, I think, actually.
Yeah. That's what the stalker app.
Right.
Stalker site.
Dubay's going to start looking like everywhere he goes, he's going to go on there and be like, did anybody see me at this bus stop? Or was somebody like, there was this one guy
I keep a low profile.
without a tooth.
I keep a low profile intentionally. As a matter of fact, I've become almost a vampire in my schedule because I don't like people. I don't like I don't. I mean, I get aggravated as hell being around people. I mean, just driving in here, my blood pressure went up 30 points. I
thought you were excited to see me.
Oh no! I mean, people that I know and that I plan on seeing is one thing. People that I got to drive around and be annoyed by is another. I've been like this my whole life. I hate mornings. I'm not a morning person. People get to say, "Oh, the start of a new day." I just want to punch them in the nuts. Are you fucking crazy? I mean, my favorite time of the day, bar none, is midnight to 5 a.m. It's quiet. I'm not kidding. I stay up all night, watching Netflix or whatever, because it is the only time where you are completely, unbotherable. I mean, there's nobody around. It's quiet. I mean, I like that. It's dark. And then all of a sudden, the sun comes up and people are running around like a bunch of fucking idiots getting in your way and annoying the shit.
Going to school.
But it's aggravating. But it is aggravating. You know what I mean? Don't you feel me a little bit on this?
I do a little bit, but I live with a 3-year-old. My nephew lives in my same house as me, so there's I don't get to sleep in until 4
awesome,
like you do.
I mean, the funny
this was early for him. He's like, God, I got to get up for that 3 o'clock show. This is
you did have to change your schedule today for a 3 o'clock start.
No, not at all. Not at all. But here, I'll tell you what.
What is your schedule? What's your
I don't have a schedule. Now we're going to backtrack. I got a couple things to say. Number one, the best years of my life were when I got to live with my nephew, and he's a little 3, 4, 5-year-old. That was the absolute bomb.
It is great.
I'm never going to have a kid of my own, and that was a blast. Secondly, I don't really have a schedule here because, I mean, we do 3 shows a week. It's an hour long. I'm not going to prep for it. I mean, clearly. No, but in all honesty, the looseness of what we do is what makes it good. And when I was on the Fan or on 1500, if I had to do like a solo show, I would spend hours the night before grinding, and I'd have it meticulously planned out. And those shows were the worst because number one, there's no looseness to it. I mean, you're just coloring by numbers, so there's no personality. And number two, I'm trying to get so many different things in there to make sure the show's so full that I start losing judgment on how interesting things are. And I get to the show and I'm like, well, that was not a good idea. It really does. You're better off just going in and winging it if you have any personality at all. So anyway, that was the comment. Comment's a perfect example. He does not show prep, and he's not a joke. It's not a joke. He does not. His show prep is golfing. But I think one of the simplest, best pleasures in life, and I think it is healthy, and I think people deprive themselves of it on almost a daily basis, is the ability to wake up naturally. I mean, it is. I'm telling you, it is one of the best things in the world to let yourself do.
So what time do you wake up naturally?
Today today was a clusterfuck because I woke up at 1:30 and found out my Twitter was hacked.
What?
Just not by some perv, just some idiot who wanted to get some weight loss ads out there.
Let me take a look.
Me and Mark Mulder. But yeah, so anyway, what really pisses me off about Twitter is how not user-friendly it is. I mean, I spent a half hour on the website trying to change my password, and I couldn't do it, and I am not an idiot. All right?
I could probably show you how to change your password in about 30 seconds.
Well, you are Babu social networks. Well, she is. And again, I'm no idiot. I mean, I'll tell you all day long about my 152 IQ. But I could not find a way to change my password on Twitter. I mean, last year when I don't want to get into the.
Wait, hold on. Were you on your laptop or on your?
The laptop.
On your phone, I swear it's all easier.
Everything's hard.
I was on the.
Not with Twitter. I found it's better on the phone.
Really?
I was on the
laptop.
laptop.
The laptop sucks.
I was on the laptop, and there's nowhere to can. I mean, I could sit here and show you right now. So there's nowhere to see settings. Where the fuck are settings?
Right.
I mean, just make it. I mean, Twitter's got to be more user friendly.
Try to change your password right now, Nadine.
Okay,
Let's see if it.
so we go into
takes
settings.
5 seconds so far.
Okay, so somebody would have to know to
And
click
then
on the tiny
and then
little.
there's password right there.
Time
and
out.
then current password,
No,
new password.
No, back up.
Was that 8 seconds?
Back up. Why would anybody know that they would get to a menu by clicking on their little face? Tell me how anybody should know that off the top of their head. Because anybody who is not a social media
There's nowhere else to click.
But that's okay. That is not a good enough answer. I mean, when
it's like process of elimination.
Turn the computer over here.
Yeah, okay.
Jason, would you have known to click on that face?
I don't think that's how I would have gotten to settings.
No fucking way. There's no goddamn way unless you are a social media nerd.
Jason would have taken about 20 seconds.
Still would have not taken me long.
Have you ever seen more tabs opened on a computer in your life than that? Look at that.
I'm a woman. I multitask.
Jesus
I have
Christ.
a lot going on.
How slow is your computer right now?
Look at this. How would you change the settings on that?
I put an E in Pubecast.
Oh my God.
Do you see?
Well, this little tool thing,
Right.
this little gear.
That easy. So like I said, phone app.
But seriously, did you know what I'm talking about? Last year when your lawyers were coming after me, I couldn't get off Twitter. I was panicking. I'm not kidding.
We have a guest that just came in the room.
I tweeted up for somebody to help me get off Twitter before the lawyers came and got me. Hi, Sean.
We have a new client downstairs. If you could just take the F-bombs down to 25%.
Oh, have I really offended a client?
No, it's probably over.
They've already been scared away.
Yeah, you should have told me. Who was it?
Who was it? I'm not telling you who it was. He's still down there. We still have a chance to win him back over.
Do you want me to come down and smooth it over?
Oh, absolutely. You're so good on sales calls.
You know what? I dazzled Tom Smith last year.
Oh, we
Remember?
dazzled him. It was big.
Now that you're here,
Well, he might have been a little drunk.
okay. So I don't know if you guys have talked about this, but you guys obviously had your little issues. How'd you get it smoothed over? Because has anyone asked you about this?
Because we were idiots a year ago, and we just decided to be adults. I mean, it wasn't that hard.
We hugged it out.
I feel like that's always a good
Well,
way.
I was on the phone. It was a verbal hug. I mean, I'm not touching him. I'm not touching him.
No, you know what's funny is that I've said to more people than not, I'm like, you just won't get it, so I'm not even going to start. But, Jeff and I had a conversation, and we've been friends for a long time before that.
We've known each other forever.
Yeah, so it was one of those things where it was like, for us, we were able to get over it and move on. For other people, like, I can't believe you guys are. I'm like, well, you didn't know us before.
Well,
you don't know us now.
Yeah.
And so
It's not like
Why are you holding the grudge for you?
Yeah, why are you holding a grudge for Jeff, or why are you holding a grudge for me? Because I'm over it.
Well, and here's the thing, too. When I get pissed, I will say anything. I mean, I get fucking mad. I mean, it's a problem with
That may be an issue.
Well, no. I mean, I'm always wondering to myself, like, how come, with girls I'm dating, don't you ever say anything that you don't mean because you're mad? And they say no. And it's like, so that whole fucking fat bitch thing, that's not going to fly with you? I didn't mean it.
See, that's what I call that not fighting fair. You got to fight fair. Like, you got to use your grown-up words.
Yes.
And you
fuck
actually
is a
bring
grown-up
up
word.
points. Like, not like saying, like, you're a bitch. You're acting like a bitch.
Oh, that's
there
just
you go.
semantics.
That's never worked for me.
Yeah,
Changing
that's
that
semantics.
never helped.
you should never use the B word, and I
No.
feel bad that I used
I
it on the
think people
podcast,
should
but I was
understand.
using an example.
I think people should have an understanding that sometimes you, in the fit of rage, you say something that you do not mean at all. I mean, don't you ever say anything you don't mean at all?
I do, but I don't think it's to the extent that you do.
Well, I get fucking mad.
Yeah,
Well, you know what I
see,
did the other day?
I'm close right now.
The other day, to your case in point,
Yeah.
the other day I looked at my wife, I said, I really need some help with the taxes. But what came out was, you bitch, you ruined my life.
It happens. It happens. It does.
Semantics
And
again.
I
Semantics.
know,
And then you hugged it out.
We did hug it out. Have you seen her? Have you seen her? Because I haven't seen her in a
And
week.
so people have been calling him and his wife saying, "Why are you putting up with this?" Like,
Somebody else hugged it out with her then.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
yeah.
terrible. That's
Whatever it takes to make her
Did you have a nice Palm Sunday, Catholic?
I did. It was good. I was there. I represented.
Are you gonna have a thing on your forehead this week?
That was Ash Wednesday, you cracker.
Not this week.
That was a long time ago.
You were just
you were the
buddy.
guy.
Oh, that's when the fish
Let's fight
sandwiches
again.
went on sale. God, I love
wasn't-
Catholics.
You're like, I get so much fish for cheap.
Oh, the spring is great because you get the cheap fish sandwiches and the Shamrock Shakes.
Shamrock shakes are the best.
It's the bomb.
Have you seen all those little postings out there that are like, Shamrock shakes aren't good for you? I'm not
no
drinking
shit.
them because they're like, I don't think they're a protein shake or a smoothie. Like, I love it's like, oh, shocking, McDonald's made something that's not healthy. I can't believe it.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I walk in there and I see the calorie count next to everything. I'm like, do you think anybody who comes here really gives a
Now you just made him feel bad. That's what I don't like about the calorie
guilts
counter.
you.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, there you
It
go.
just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if
like
you're
they-
McDonald's, deal with it.
They now have little therapy pamphlets right there too. There's little
telling
little therapist cards right there. When you're ordering your food, you're like, oh my god, I just did 3,000 calories, and now I got to go get a therapist.
Yeah, seriously. I just went to Burger King on the way here. I don't give a
You did?
fuck. I'm gonna die in the next 10 years. I don't give a shit.
Well, that's a good point.
Well, I mean,
It's amazing you
so
take
what-
such good care of yourself.
So what do you want? Do you want to enjoy life while you, or do you want to sit there and make yourself miserable and then get hit by a car? I mean,
That's what I do laugh when you find out that some thin bastard who was running, jogging.
That's what
That
he
guy
deserves.
jogged 5 days a week and put on 15 miles a day, and he was hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Dumb son of a bitch.
Exactly. It's like,
Should have enjoyed yourself.
It's like Will Ferrell. Look at me. I'm hang gliding. No, what a fucking idiot.
You don't have those risks when you're sitting on the couch.
Mine is now lost for sure. He's like, I don't want to be a part of this.
But they might like Wedding Crashers. Isn't that Wedding Crashers?
Oh, I love it.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Will Ferrell's talking about the guy dying in a hang glider.
I can't wait to show my kids the part with when Will Ferrell's living with his mom.
That's what I'm talking about. The meatloaf. Nobody gets the meatloaf, Bob. I just was talking about that scene.
Get your fucking skateboard out of here.
How come it feels like nobody's hearing me today? Henry
I'm
Lane.
hearing
What? I'm sorry.
It's like I'm vocally invisible.
That's what I was
just talking about that scene.
I know you were that scene,
His
but I'm
reference
talking
is funnier.
specifically about the mother. You already said you couldn't do voices.
No, I can't do voices. I wish I could. Because I'm pretty fucking
You'd
funny.
never leave the house
If I could do,
if you could do voices.
impersonations. You know what just blew my mind? I'm watching Netflix, and Aziz Ansari sold out Madison Square Garden, and he's fucking awful. He's the worst stand-up comedian I've ever seen.
You know what? I have to disagree with that. I actually saw him
great
live
on
here.
shows. He's great on shows, but I've
Yeah.
seen 2 stand-ups, and I didn't crack a smile. He is not a funny
I saw him once, and he was very funny.
But you're a girl. Girls will laugh at anything. Trust me.
I would not say
That's
that. I haven't laughed.
offensive.
I haven't laughed at half your jokes.
Bullshit. I made you laugh, belly laugh 10 times. 10 times.
You were tickling her.
No, I never.
Okay, stop the rumors.
All right, here we go.
No, but I mean, seriously, how does any stand-up comedian sell out Madison Square Garden? I mean, that's
a weird place to do comedy.
I mean, it's set up like for a concert, and there's an enormous stage, and he's standing in front of 15,000 people. It blew my mind.
I hope they have like the really small stage where he's just spinning around in circles so he can. You know.
Like Neil Diamond?
Yeah, like
Did
Neil
he-
Diamond. Shallow when I was young.
He's the only guy that I know that still does concerts in the round.
Will Ferrell's Neil Diamond impersonation is the greatest thing. Did you ever see his deal?
I've
on
seen
SNL?
I've seen him do Neil Diamond on SNL one time.
He did this. This is my favorite bit. You know, old Neil spends a lot of time on the road. And the only thing that gets me through is hardcore, barely legal teenage porn. It was just classic. He's dressed up just like Neil Diamond. He's got the big lamb chop sideburns. Hardcore, barely legal teenage pornography. I was like, what is wrong with you?
But you're not, are you leaving? Don't leave. You're not leaving, are you?
I was going to leave.
Don't leave.
Well, the client already walked out, so.
We'll fix that later. Trust me, my whole life is about fixing shit. I wanted to get into this with Nadine because you might think this
College, basketball.
No.
Fuck
Fuck that. Nadine is, a single lady. She's on dating
I know
sites.
it's amazing, right? How am I single?
So, she's...
Hey, you got awesome personality. You're attractive. You're holding me too close right now.
the way I look at it, someone is...
Hand check.
Everyone is someone's type. So, no, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I've been taking shots. I can give out a few. But I'm still not exactly sure how I feel about this on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, guys, these guys that she puts on Facebook, they're douchebags. I mean, they are fucking below zero. They're not, to call them a zero would be an upgrade. I mean, like they're stupid, dopey, unattractive guys basically asking her to sleep with them. I mean,
What are you looking for? What are you looking for
But
in a
here's
man?
the thing. No, that's not the point. That's not the point.
Oh, come on.
But the point is, every guy at one time or another in his life has just wanted to get laid. Now, if you were a man,
What do you mean at one time
just
or
shut
another?
Up. Okay, now I'm trying to make a good point here because this is a moral dilemma that I find myself in, because these guys are complete and utter douchebags.
Mm-hmm.
But every guy at some point in his life wanted to get laid, and every guy at some point in his life has floated a little proposition out there that he maybe wasn't proud of. Would you want that to be on Facebook? Would you be mad?
No.
Like if you're on Match.com and you ask some chick if she's down with a friends benefit thing, and then boom, it's on Facebook. I'd want to fucking strangle her. Wouldn't you be pissed?
This is why I'm glad I married long before Facebook, because I would be that douche that's like putting something. I'd be half in the bag, middle of the night, post something. For God's sake, my Irish penis would make it on the web. That'd be sad.
I'm telling you, it's almost like when you watch To Catch a Predator, and it's so embarrassing that you almost feel sorry for the guy.
You don't feel sorry for the guy. I'm sorry. If you're going
No.
to be that big of a douche, you should get called out. I
think it's kind of bitchy.
I never post about guys that I actually like or that write me nice messages. And there are tons of super dorky ones, really
they're
unattractive, whatever.
really douchey.
I never post about them. I never make fun of their appearance or anything. It's
You made fun of my appearance. You've done it all
you,
day.
You don't have a tooth, okay?
I'm still a good-looking guy.
He has lots of teeth, just not the one that counts in the front.
I'm gonna get it fixed. I'm unsure.
But I feel like
Fucking
if you're
Obamacare.
going
By the way, Obamacare should be illegal. The fact that this country
it's
does not
awesome.
raise the fact that this country has not raised up. I mean, this is not a political rant.
Oh, it's
the,
awesome.
the man has not given you health insurance. He's forced you to buy shitty insurance.
Pre-existing conditions like you,
and if you don't-
you'd be able to go in right now and then go get your tooth fixed.
I'm shocked. I'm not a
Read the
political
plan.
guy.
Read the plan.
I'm shocked that this is legal, and I can't believe a country just bent over and took it. You know, I mean, it's fucking embarrassing.
Okay, so by the way, about your teeth, though,
Fucking
go
Obama.
to the university.
God.
Go to the University of Minnesota go to
Obamacare
dental
is a
school.
disgrace. It's a fucking disgrace. That's what I got to do. I got to find a dental school.
How is it
Yeah.
a disgrace?
Because-
a guy like you with
Are you
pre-existing
serious?
condition could go in there and get your tooth fixed because it's a pre-existing condition.
A friend of mine,
Yeah.
you know who I get my
First
computer?
of all, that's a lie. You don't have any friends.
A friend of mine, no. This is
He called you out.
my friend John Lanassa gave me this as an example.
That's a made-up name.
I like that he.
Lanassa.
That's a good one.
What kind of-
Is there an apostrophe in that?
Lanassa.com. Check him out. He's a computer. He refurbishes computers. He gave
That's
me.
why he dropped the name.
Gave
to make
me,
it sound real.
Yeah, exactly.
He gave me this MacBook. I mean, he's a
That's
fantastic.
not a MacBook, is it? Oh, it
It's
is.
a MacBook. Jesus Christ.
It's from 2008.
I was like, why isn't it silver?
It's the first.
Okay, I
Jeff's
refuse.
freaking out right now.
I refuse to allow John Lanassa to get run down. The guy fixes computers. He
That's
gave me
nice
this.
of him.
It's very nice.
He's a great guy. He's a fantastic guy. But he's an entrepreneur. He's a employed guy.
Yeah.
Here's how Obamacare affected him. They force him, and then, I mean, flat out put a gun to your head and say, $1,000 a month, you pay it, or we will continue to fine you until you do. What the fuck is that? How does a government tell you you are going to buy this, you're going to pay for this, and if you don't, we're going to fucking come and get you? This is not legal. Obamacare is fucking illegal.
Well, you know what?
And it makes me
Works
mad
that way
to
with
think about it.
taxes, brother.
It makes me, that's a little different. I mean, and again, I mean,
You don't have any kids, and you're paying for
Again,
kids' school all the time.
I'm a libertarian, so I'm not into taxes. I mean, I'm not. But
Well, that means- wait a
Who's
minute.
into taxes? Who's
I don't like taxes.
I want to pay more
But again,
taxes.
But I'm Democrats. I mean,
no one wants to pay more taxes. They want all the benefits. They don't want to pay more taxes.
And they, it's
This is
what
Democrats want you to pay more taxes.
No, but here's where liberals are fucking idiots. No, this is why liberals don't get it. No, this is why liberals don't get it. No, I'm going to get on my horse. This is where liberals don't get it. Somebody comes out and says, we want to give you free health care. Oh, who doesn't want that? Free health care. Hey, great. Of course we want free health care. We want to give you schools. Of course we want good schools. I mean, we're not fucking idiots. Republicans are not idiots. We want good schools. I mean, we want people to get taken care of. It's
Okay.
stupid.
Let me debunk this in one sentence.
But no, because liberals hear free health care. Well, who's not in favor of that? Well, I'm not, because it's not free. It's telling you to buy shitty insurance, and if he doesn't, he's going to fine you until you do. That's bullshit.
You know
That
what I
is
you know what I
fucking
pay
illegal.
for? You know what I've paid for
That's
the last
illegal.
You know what I paid for the last 15 fucking years that I can't stand? War. I'm not kidding. Let's pay to kill more people and try to change their culture, which they'll never
Well, again,
possibly do.
Just another bad
And-
liberal point of view.
No, it's not.
Sometimes
No,
you
it's
have
not.
to get aggressive.
No, you don't. You don't.
George Bush lied, and I'm not going to tell you he didn't lie. He fucking lied, and he went after the wrong guy. But you do.
And we've spent billions in American lives and Iraqi lives and
Because guess what?
tons of innocent
Guess what?
civilians.
Guess what? Bill Clinton could have killed Obama. I mean, Obama. He could have killed Osama bin Laden years ago. He could have fucking.
So could have Bush.
But he didn't have the balls. He didn't have the fucking stones.
Obama did.
Well, he did, but they were in somebody's mouth.
Obama did.
Oh my god. Jason,
Well-
Jason, on your podcast, can we talk about
But
basketball?
again, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, but see,
internet
but see,
dating.
this is why liberals infuriate me. Well, I'm for health insurance and I'm against war. Well, so am I. So is every fucking right thinking person in the world. But there's so many more layers to these issues. But I'm going to oversimplify because I'm a liberal. Hey, guess what? I don't like war. Hey, I'd love.
Well,
some
you
health
just said you don't
I
like
fucking hate
paying
liberals.
taxes. You just said you don't like paying taxes.
I'm a libertarian. I believe in personal freedom.
Okay.
You fuck whoever you want, marry whoever you want, stick your dick wherever you want, and I don't give a fuck who you marry.
And then you can't drive down the road because you don't pay enough taxes for the roads to be fixed.
Well, or you're getting head while you're fucking behind the wheel, and you crash into a telephone pole. But whatever, I don't give a shit. I mean,
But then you die happy.
I'm not out here to force.
That's a fellatio.
I'm not out here to force moral beliefs on anybody. But the government's got to leave us the fuck alone. And when they force you to buy bad health insurance or fine you if you don't,
Okay, so
that
isn't
is
it
not America. That
Isn't
is
it?
fucked up.
Isn't it forcing moral beliefs to get people to pay tax dollars for war?
Yeah. Well,
Okay, that's forcing moral beliefs.
But
But
what's the
time
purpose
out.
of government? The national government, part of their job is war, not
Well,
necessarily taking care of your
no,
health.
war, it's
not
national
war.
defense.
It's
Right.
Exactly.
Well, that is part of war, yeah.
Exactly.
Technically.
Exactly. I mean, you do have. I mean, I get it. I mean, you realize that the revolution started over taxes that were a fraction of what we pay now. I mean, if you knew about how the tax on tea and the shit that the king was imposing on this country
And
compared
we had-
to taxes today, it's nothing. It's minuscule. It's nothing. And we started a revolution over it. And it's way 100 times more than that. It's mathematically it's off the charts. But there are some necessities. You got to have roads. You got to have schools. You got to have defense. I mean. But Jesus Christ, health insurance.
But
Go fuck
doesn't it?
yourself,
Don't you see how it is a great advantage if more Americans have health insurance? Don't you see the advantages that preventative care is going to save us billions of dollars?
You know,
and that's what people don't spend money on.
Do you realize that if a guy like you has a heart attack, that they have to treat you?
They did before too.
Do you realize that?
They did before.
No, but
too.
my point is this: we're going to have to pay.
Do you know?
We're going to have to pay tons of money for a guy like you to go in
look,
and have a heart attack. We're still going to have to pay for it.
What I'm about to say is the kind of stuff that gets lambasted by
You
liberal
can just
media.
say yes, you're right,
No,
Sean.
that's my show.
Yes,
Shut
you're
up.
right, Sean.
Just throw it to the
Thank
mic
you.
for a second.
Thank you.
No, you're not, because here's there's no. I'm going to sound
illogical,
legalistic. No, whatever it is that liberals like to fucking use to attack conservatives.
Logic.
No, the reason that we had at one time the best healthcare in America is because we're greedy fucks. Capitalism works. Not anymore. It won't. Not anymore. It won't. Our healthcare is going to go to shit because there's not. I mean, the reason. You know how impossible it is to become a world power in the time that we did? It is until you have some that people can strive for and care about, a goal a carrot that you dangle in front of them. We are the best at everything because people are fucking greedy.
We're not the best at anything.
Well, we were. But we're not because
you mean back when the average CEO made only 30 times the average employee versus 350
times. You know what?
Times
the world's
the
not coming to
employee.
an end because some people got laid off at fucking Target. Get a job somewhere else. All right, people lose jobs. But the world comes to an end in this country when the government takes control of something that is capitalistic and it flourished because people wanted to be the best and make the most money at it, and now it's going to go to shit. Healthcare in this country is going to be terrible 50 years.
So what's the American dream, Jeff?
For me, it's nothing more than peace of mind. But everybody gets there in their own way. But the fact that government wants to control every element of your life, people have gotten so fucked in the head thinking that,
I'll agree with you on that.
This is good for me. That's good for me. The government knows it's good for me.
I think the government...
Obamacare should be illegal. It's so offensive. Honestly, I think it should be illegal. I mean, they're forcing you to buy something.
I never said it was perfect. I never said it was perfect. There's a lot that's wrong with it. There's a lot that's wrong with it, but so is not, having a ton of people not.
This whole heart attack theory of yours?
Yeah. I'm not paying for it. Not one fucking dime.
But I mean, had I needed emergency room care 10 years ago, without insurance, they take care of you.
His point was, though, is that if we do preventive care, which I'm actually on your side, Jeff, I'm completely against Obamacare, but if you do preventive care, then we don't have to pay for as many heart attacks down the road.
Exactly.
Yes. But the libertarian argument against that is never pay for the fucking heart attacks. But get your own insurance,
I know,
or don't.
But with Jeff, what happens is we have to pay the $80,000, and we pay it. The taxpayers pay it on the other side. So for one guy, one time having a heart attack, we pay a shitload of money for you one time, rather than paying for it in smaller amounts, which is more manageable.
Really, like my self-employed friend pay $1,000 a month with a gun to his
I'm
head.
self-employed.
How many employees does he have?
Mine costs $216 a month, but I don't have a family and kids. I will tell you, before
does.
Obamacare, it was like $120 a month.
There you go. So what do you think about this? Gun to your head. Give me another $90 a month, or I'm going to spine the shit out of you.
I don't feel like there was a gun to my head.
There sure is. It's illegal to not pay it. It is. You do not have an option. It is illegal to not buy this. Well, that is so wrong. How does that not offend you?
Because I'd be an idiot if I didn't have health care insurance. If I didn't get
it. But you did have it. You were fine.
I know.
Leave well enough alone.
Trust me. I'm not. I don't. Just
It's
like you
fucked
said,
up.
I don't think it's perfect in any way, shape, or form.
But see, that's the thing. Americans are willing
Americans
to put
need
up
health
with
care,
this.
So who pays
But
for
that's
it?
not an acceptable point of view.
Jeffrey, calm down.
No, I'm mad that people put up with this. How can you put up with that?
Who pays for it?
Nadine, you're better than that.
So who pays for it? I just want to know who pays for it when people don't take care of themselves and we're not insured.
I'm not
we
saying
still pay for it.
There's never going to be perfect. There's never going to be anything perfect. And I know this is sad, but in capitalism, some people fall through the cracks. I mean, they're homeless people. I don't know if they had homeless people.
And it's happening more and more. 1 in 5 American children goes to bed hungry.
Well,
that's disgusting to me.
Yeah, that is.
That's disgusting.
That is.
Yeah.
That is. But
so
you know what?
That's awesome that we live in the greatest country in the world.
But here we go. This is liberal rhetoric again. I mean, I do believe.
I'm a moderate, by the way. You can call me liberal.
I believe that charity begins at home. I mean, I when I was making money at the Fan, I was handing out money to anybody in my family, any friends. I had people living in my house for free. I mean, I didn't care. Charity begins at home. It's not because the government says we're going to make you be charitable.
So what if you don't have that money at your home?
People
or
do.
what if you don't have a
then,
rich family?
Then you're the guy who lives with the guy who has like I do now. Well, seriously,
you've seen both sides.
Well, I have. I absolutely have. And the government has no business getting involved. I get what you're saying about with the old system, uninsured people go in and it's got to be paid for.
My family grew up on welfare. I had welfare.
I did too.
We got off of it. And we used it for what its purpose was. I'm not okay with anybody being on welfare the whole life.
A second chance, not a way of life.
Yeah,
well,
that's
exactly
it. I'm fine with that. I realize that shit happens with people. Stuff like layoffs happen and people lose jobs, and not everybody can replace those jobs with something similar to that. People overspend, and that's their fucking problem.
Right.
But there's corporate welfare, too. There's corporate welfare that happens all the time. And when I worked at Cumulus, which was Citadel.
Which one was that?
That was KQ 93X and 1105. Our CEO, Fareed Sulman, laid off 1,000 people in our company, and then he filed for bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. And then he cashed out and walked away with his $38 million. Wow. That is corporate welfare.
Well, guess what?
So all those people were out of jobs. All those people that were only making $40,000 a year were out of jobs. But he cashed out and had $38 million out of that. I would rather pay every dollar of somebody else's health care than some jackass gets the opportunity to cash out $38 million after filing bankruptcy and laying off 1,000 people.
But shit like that happens
before Christmas.
This has nothing to do with corporate welfare. But Stanley Hubbard threw a $500,000 fucking party and then had to get rid of my $40,000 salary. I mean, this shit happens. It is what it is.
And he probably wrote the whole thing off.
And he's a dick, by the way.
I'm not going to say that.
Well, he is. I mean, he's just a.
But he probably wrote the whole thing off. You know, that's the other thing, is that there is corporate welfare. So again, welfare is happening on both sides. I don't think either one of them is okay. That's why I'm not a liberal.
Well, I'm not. Your rhetoric was liberal. I never called you liberal. It's like saying you're acting like a bitch.
But everything.
You're not a bitch.
That was a perfect comeback.
He's learned so much already.
I called your rhetoric liberal.
You really have. You really have.
Well, I'm smarter than anybody in this room.
So everything is a choice. Everything is. Everything is a choice.
You think it's funny, but it is.
Everything is a choice in a family and a government. What did you just throw at her?
No, but that's something you're wrong.
Yes.
He's throwing
everything is a choice.
There are no choices. That's what I'm talking about.
Turn off his mic.
No, they're taking away your choice. They're not saying, would you like to buy health insurance? They're saying, buy this fucking health insurance.
They took away my choice on war. They took away my choice.
You didn't go to war.
I didn't, but my family members have.
Sometimes they have.
My brother was in the first war in Iraq.
Sometimes
so yes,
my grandfather was in the South Pacific in World War II.
Great grandfather was in the Civil War. I've got war every step of the way. My family's been.
We were at Gettysburg.
I'm
serious.
I don't
give a fuck. I mean,
well, but right now the choice is
this:
is that we're at a point right now in American culture where the average guy can't do the basic things of being able to afford, even if he's working full-time, not be able to afford health care, even if it's working full-time, not have the opportunity to buy a home or to have a decent car to drive. And that's where it's a tragedy. So even if they work 2 jobs, sometimes they can't do this. To me, there's something wrong with America when that happens.
Well, I'll tell you this. There's no perfect form of government.
No, of course not.
There never will be. But
they all end after about 250 years.
But the purest form of capitalism possible is the best way to do it.
I disagree.
Really?
Because it leaves people behind.
This country became a power in 100 fucking years. That's impossible.
Okay.
That's impossible. Canada thrives because of us, and there's a bunch of idiots up there.
Do we have a commercial we need to go to?
We got a minute.
Shit.
We still have a minute before we have to break. I'm going to let this go a little longer. I like it.
Okay, so the challenge is that we are leaving behind millions of Americans constantly. If we really want to be the number one country in the world,
we are.
Here's what my thoughts are.
But what do you want to?
We are number one in education. So I love what Germany's doing right now. You probably hate it.
They've been just a boon to the world over the last few years.
Well, Germany is giving away college now. They're giving it away. They're saying we want the smartest people in the world. You can come to Germany, you can live in Germany, and you get free university.
And then they set up death camps and say, "Ha, gotcha."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, seriously,
I personally love that idea. I think the entire education system needs to be totally revamped.
Well, but I mean, again, we can sit here and pick out little good items, this or there, from all kinds of governments. But you can't just pick and choose.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes,
you cannot.
can.
Really,
it's all a decision. Germany just did it. They voted on it. They did it. They made it happen, and now it's happening. That's choosing.
Okay, what do you mean it's all a decision? I mean, you were not forced to go to war. Nobody you know has been forced to go to war.
Yes, they have.
Maybe in the
dad
60s.
Was in Vietnam.
Okay, in the 60s.
Yeah.
Okay, but you were not forced to go to war. You say you had a choice.
No, I was not forced to go to war.
Well, I mean but
I'm forced to pay for it, which is even worse. When you have something you don't believe in,
you don't believe in defending this country.
I believe in defending the country. I don't believe in going in and taking over other countries and trying to change their culture.
I will tell you this.
It doesn't work.
But but see, that's the thing. People cannot. I'm not saying that we've never made mistakes in foreign policy, but people cannot possibly begin to understand the layers of implications that go into whether or not you want to support the Contras. I mean, there's things that are well above the head of anybody in this room. And I think it's funny. I mean,
fear-based.
In this country, no, it is not. In this country, you are allowed an opinion, but there's nobody out here. There's nobody anywhere that is really honestly qualified to judge a job of a president. I mean, it's a job that none of us could wrap our minds around.
I agree, because we don't know 1/100th of what they hear.
I do watch a lot of scandals, so I think I kind of have a little insight into it.
Well, maybe the Clinton administration.
So who are our picks for the Final Four?
Well, why don't we take a break and find out?
BU.
How about a tease?
Good teaser.
No, I got BU and Providence.
I don't.
What are you drinking tonight, Jason?
The Minnesota Pubcast with Jason and Molly.
I'm drinking a Liftbridge Hop Dish.
It's Pub Talk from a Minnesotan perspective.
I'm always really proud of where I'm from. I'm super proud of Minnesota, and I think Minneapolis is awesome. I think St. Paul is awesome. I think they're a really awesome cultural epicenter.
With great local guests.
So the other voice you hear in the room today is Jerry Fagerberg from the City Pages. Talk about the official Minnesota Tall Boy, which your piece is on the cover of the City Pages today.
It is on the cover, came out today.
Talking movies.
All right, you saw Boyhood. I need to hear what you thought.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Wow.
Sports.
A guy who was undrafted knew what was coming.
And everything else you talk about at the pub.
Let's not pretend like we know what we're talking about.
Well, what do you think I do every show?
The Minnesota Pubcast with Jason McGovern and Molly Burke. Listen at mnpubcast.com or subscribe on iTunes.
We want to just find meaning in life.
Hi, I'm Terry Daniel, and I've been a voice actor in Minneapolis for over 2 decades now. How often are you getting compliments on your voice? Now is the time to do something about it. If you're interested in getting into voiceovers, please contact me via my website at universalvoicetalent.com.
We'll take it, show me. Back to wrap things up on the political hot table. Jesus Christ. Puppy.
I just wanted to see you really sweat.
I'm sweating like a pig.
He is. He's dripping.
I'm the proverbial whore in church. You guys piss me off.
It's like I'm Kennedy and you're Nixon.
You City Pages people.
That's actually pretty close.
How am I a City Pages person?
Oh, you're one of these uptown liberal hipster idiots.
I'm not.
I'm just kidding.
I'm self-employed. God.
But in all honesty, I'm
Jeff's self-absorbed.
sad. I'm sad. I'm a little sad and disappointed that you're not mad about having to pay this extra $90 a month.
Oh, no.
Because you should be.
Don't get me wrong. It doesn't make me happy. And my insurance is super crappy, too. Like, that's why I know about it.
How are you not mad? Get mad.
Will you let me talk?
Okay. Just for a minute.
Am I not the guest today?
Clock's ticking. No.
But seriously, that's why I told you about the U of M for going for I go there for my dental work. Like, it totally sucks for anything else. Like, I have friends that are doctors. I'm like, hey, can you hook me up with this or that? Like, I broke my toe. I'm like, can you get me like one of those shoe things? Like, because I'm like, my deductible sucks. I mean, trust me, I loved it when I had great insurance. Don't get me wrong. That is definitely something that bugs me, but I don't feel like anyone's holding a gun to my head, and I think people should be insured.
But again, I try to take this down to a personal level and get stories. And my buddy, he's got to pay $1,000 a month or he gets fined. You get 90 extra bucks a month and your insurance went to shit. I mean, how does anybody think this is good? There's not one good thing about this. Not one.
When I see Nadine pay the insurance for young children to be able to go into the hospital, I say to myself, Bill, Nadine's a good person. I'm glad I know her.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't know you could do that.
That was surprising.
I haven't tried that in years, actually.
That was surprising.
Good.
Well, there's been no reason to.
He needs
That's a good
like
point.
a saxophone here.
I really do.
Did you have the thumb going?
I did have the thumb.
Yep.
It's the only way you can do it is with that.
See, there was a show when I first started listening to the Fan back in the olden days of like the mid '90s. There was a show called Sports Warp. Guy Green and Harrington, and they did brilliant voices. I mean, like could call the mother up on the phone of Lou Nanny and convince it.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I mean, the problem with the show was their best impersonations were all people who were just either irrelevant or dead, like Nixon, and I mean, Lou Nanny was the one good one. So it's like it got to the point where these are great voices. It's a funny show, but you can only do Nixon so many times in 1998 and have people give a shit about it.
Play the promo for. Can you play something off Spreaker for me?
Which one? What do you?
It's Tim Mahoney's second promo.
Do you remember Sports Warp? Guy Green and Greg Harrington?
I do.
Guy Green, good guys.
You know what we want to do
Guy
here?
Green's hilarious.
What do you think of this idea? Sunday morning,
We should get Guy Green on the show.
Jeffrey, Sunday morning video sports show from downstairs with you and Sue Han and a few other people.
Oh, would I have to set an alarm?
Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be a blast. I'd love it. I would love it.
But I have to set it.
Oh, by the way, I got
It's not in there. It's actually on his page. So
I got big plans for a fantasy football show this fall from a buddy of mine that he's really put a lot of thought into this. We're going to sit down and talk about it.
I like it.
Because you know what's great about fantasy football for podcast? Everyone's got a draft. And it's, I mean, once you put it out there, it's just there on the internet. Anybody go to it whenever they want.
Yeah, like
it's
a draft
perfect.
guide.
So
Basically.
you're saying that
made for fantasy
you're saying
football.
what it's doing is recording the audio and then they can
don't
play
be
it
smart
back
ass.
whenever they want.
But I'm just saying that's tailor made for fantasy football.
I know it is.
It really
it's
is.
perfect.
It is.
Because I was the guy. The only year I played fantasy football was the old days where it was a giant pain in the ass where you had to call some guy. He had one fucking phone line, and you'd call him like 12 times. Oh, sorry, too late. You can't get your guys in. You have to go with the guys from last week. I'm like, they're on a fucking bye week.
I know.
You're like
I know.
paging him.
Oh, I just hated it.
I remember when I played
you had to
fantasy
read the
football.
fucking paper.
When I played fantasy football, I mean, everybody who played fantasy football at the time, this is before the internet, everyone huddled around the radio at 6 o'clock and listened to the fantasy football show where they read through every scoring play. Just sit there and read through it.
Yeah.
Terrible radio. But if you're a fantasy football player, you're glued to it.
And people were.
Hey, Sean, do you have any kind of like WWE podcast, like any kind of wrestling? I
Not
mean,
yet. We need one.
Yeah, was that last night?
Was
Was that last night? Oh, God.
Yeah, it was last night, and he didn't even watch it. And I'm like,
garbage.
how are you going to sound educated on our show today? You're going to
By
sound
saying
like
I don't
an
watch
idiot.
wrestling. I mean, seriously.
Thank you.
You guys, seriously, it's huge.
It's
Is it
terrible. It's garbage. But I mean, like, Nadine said to me last night, she goes,
Did he just, like,
Judd's
did
not
he just-
watching it.
did he just cut out?
And Phil Mackey is. So Phil will not, so Phil won't sound like an idiot. I said, if he talks about watching wrestling on there, he'll sound like an idiot.
Oh, he's going to sound amazing.
Oh,
Who wins the tournament? Who wins the tournament? College.
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
That's the best team money can buy.
I think it's Wisconsin.
You know what? I love how Henry Lake says that. He always says Wisconsin like it's a person.
I hate that. It's not Wisconsin.
But
it's
he says Wisconsin and Xavier. I wonder if somebody's got the name Wisconsin.